and welcome to 302 Sports Weekly. I am your host, Benny Piniella, alongside my partner in crime, Pat Garianis. Pat, it's exciting, man. It's the first ever show.
Incredible, the first ever 302 Sports Weekly. We're here live at Hooters. See everybody out here tonight. Not too many people reacting, but there we go. A little bit of reaction. I love it. I'm excited, man. I'm ready for this.
Yeah, excited to talk about Delaware High School sports for the fall. We're out here at the Hooters in the Astro Shopping Center in Newark, literally right across from the Western Family YMCA on Kirkwood Highway. Come out and support us, 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. I've heard they've had some great wings. I also heard from a friend of mine, very good fried pickles as well here.
Fried pickles. I'm not a big dill guy, but you know what? I believe you, man.
We want to thank Gary and Nick for allowing us to have our show here weekly. Please come out, please support the show, and just enjoy the atmosphere here at Hooters. Now, nonetheless, on to 302 Sports Weekly. We're going to be live every Wednesday here at 7 p.m. each week, previewing all high school sports for the fall. Delaware college athletes as well, some professional stuff, local colleges, and many other amateur sports here in the great state of Delaware. If you have any highlights, scores, or anything you want to send us, you can do so on our email at 302sports@gmail.com. Of course, check out our website as well, 302sports.com, or contact any of us for the show. Or, of course, again, come out to the show here in the Astro Shopping Center in Newark. We are joined by kind of the brains of the operation, Jason Winchell. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Benny.
And I guess if there's a right brain, this is the left brain, or the right brain, left brain.
That's it.
Something like that.
Mike Lang.
Hey, Benny. Great to be here.
Welcome, gentlemen. We're excited to do this show, and we're excited to get into things. We're going to start with field hockey and kind of go through what field hockey we've ranked, or 302 has ranked field hockey. So looking at the top 10, as it appears on your screen right now, we have Delmar, Tower Hill. We also have Carabel, Archmere, and Milford rounding out the top 5. And then going into the bottom half of it, we have Friends, Wilmington Friends, Ursuline, Indian River, Conrad, and Wilmington Christian. All right, so kind of that's Division 2. Let's kind of get the animal out of the room here. Delmar at number 1. What do they have that makes them the best team in Division 2?
Well, they only graduated 2 players from last year's state championship team. They are led by a trio of players who combined for 60 goals and 30 assists last year.
Oh, wow.
Which is more than 10 teams combined for the whole season scored. So they're bringing back a lot of offensive talent. Like I said, they won last year. They were at 18-1. Their only loss being to Cape Henlopen, who now moved to Division 1, with they going 2 divisions this year.
Yeah, with field hockey, it's been primarily below the canal. It's downstate teams that have dominated the sport. We look at Tower Hill, Carabel, Archmere, Friends, all northern teams, Mike. What do they have to do to try to catch Delmar, the powerhouse that they are?
Really, Delmar's title to lose, but Tower Hill's got a lot of experience, a lot of seniors, and they can really score. Carabel lost their 2 top scorers, but they do have a lot of returning talent. Mm-hmm. We'll name one of those later on, a player that people are familiar with. Archmere, a lot of returning talent. Jason from Archmere. They have a lot of seniors back this year, so they can all score. Question is, can they stop Delmar from scoring goals? So that's really, if they get a hot goalkeeper, it's possible that one of those 3 could break through this year.
That's easier said than done. Jason, is there a team in the bottom half, looking at Wilmington Christian, Conrad, Indian River, that possibly could shake some things up, move into the northern half of, I guess, the more like the 6th or 7th spot, or possibly jump into the top 5?
I like Friends. Friends played Tower Hill tough last year, losing twice by a goal. They're a team I would watch out for. They bring back a lot of experience, and I think they will give Tower Hill and some of those teams a run for their money.
Is there anybody outside the top 10 that you might see bloom as the season goes on and perhaps make a run?
I like Brandywine. Brandywine returned 6 seniors from a team that went 9-5-1 last year. St. George's won the Flight B, but they moved up to Division 1 this year. Opens the door for Brandywine to win the Flight B and get the automatic bid. And I like the fact that they bring back 6 seniors.
Interesting.
Any team for you, Mike? Outside the top 10 that possibly could jump into
maybe Mount Pleasant could possibly break in there, but I agree with Jason. I think if anybody could do it, it could probably be Brandywine.
All right, Jason, so we're going to jump into our players to watch for field hockey Division 2 for 2017. What are some players you have, at least 3 players, that you kind of think are going to be something to watch?
I have Peyton Kemp, a senior from Delmar. She scored 27 goals and had 10 assists last year. She's a very good goal scorer for Delmar. Two, I have Natalie Hobbs, a senior at Tower Hill. She had 18 goals and 8 assists last year, another good numbers. And then I have a kind of a lookout player for this year, Caroline Donovan, a junior from Archmere. As a sophomore last year, she had 8 goals and 3 assists. I look for her to have a better year this year for the Hawks and carry them this year.
And Mike, same thing to you. Is there 3 girls that you could see just to keep an eye on throughout the season?
I do. Real quick, Peyton Kemp from Delmar is the defending state player of the year, so
Keep that
definitely a player to watch. The first one I have is Sydney Keld from Caravel. She's a junior. Most people would know her as the goalkeeper for their outstanding soccer team. She can also play field hockey. Second team All-State last year, 14 goals and 15 assists. Caravel, 15-2 last year, and they reached the second round of the state tournament. They lost to Polytech in overtime. Number 2, also at Tower Hill, Isabel Pilson, another senior, high scorer. She had both goals in their defeat of Cape Henlopen. They beat them 10-0. She finished with 14 goals and 10 assists. Also, another Tower Hill player to watch out for is Laura Tashner, who had 17 goals. My third player, not a scorer, a goalkeeper from Ursuline, Cleo Troy. Cleo's going to be a junior this year. She had a 1.4 goals per game given up. But if you take out a 6-0 loss to Caravel, it goes down to 1.07.
Wow.
So Cleo Troy is going to be the anchor of the defense for Ursuline. We have them ranked, I believe, in the 8th or so. They are 7th.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think they deserve that, and Cleo's a big reason why.
Yeah, you can't win if you can't score, and that's one thing
exactly
that Ursuline
right,
does
Ben.
really well.
Yeah.
So transitioning from Division 2, we're going to Division 1 now, and you can see it on your screen as we're talking about it. Cape Henlopen, Padua, Polytech, Wilmington Charter, and Concord. That's your top 5. Bottom 5 working upwards. Smyrna at 10, William Penn, St. George's Tech, Sussex Tech, and Caesar Rodney. So is it kind of like Division 1 where you have the Delmar and Cape Henlopen's kind of the team to beat here, Jason?
Yes, Cape Henlopen had won 6 straight titles before they got knocked out in the quarterfinals last year by Tower Hill. They would be my favorite in Division 1. They return a lot of talent. Last year they were a little younger team.
Right.
This year they bring back the experience. So I like them. Padua can also give them a run. Padua was 15-0 in the regular season last year before also falling to Tower Hill 4-0.
You mentioned that they had a tough loss to Tower Hill. How are they going to regroup after that loss?
Well, I think at the fact that they've been champs before, and the coaching staff knows what to motivate this team is. Last year, like I said, they were a little young. They got up. They had to play Tower Hill at Tower Hill, and it was a tough road trip for them. They weren't able to generate any offense. This year, I think their offense will be a lot better, and their defensively, they were awesome last year. They had, I believe, 10 shutouts in 15 games.
And Mike, we know we're familiar with your work, of course, with the dialogue covering the Catholic schools. Padua, 15-0 last season, like Jason said. What do they have to do to win their first field hockey championship this fall? Can they do it?
They need to find a successor to Haley Power, All-State, first-team All-State goalkeeper last year. She gave up 6 goals all of last season, 2 in the regular season, and this is a fun field hockey fact. 2 regular season goals Padua gave up. I was in attendance for both of them.
You're
And then they took a 4-0 loss in the playoffs. So they gave up just 6 goals all of last year, only had the 1 loss. If they find a successor to Haley Power, they're going to be tough to beat.
And that Lang curse, I guess, is what it was.
I was asked not to return.
Jason, what teams outside the top 10? What teams outside the top 10 that could jump in and possibly shake things up?
I like Middletown. Middletown finished last season strong, going 4-1-2 in their last 7 games. They returned 2 of their 3 top scorers from last year and may make a run for the top 10.
And Mike, do you have any other teams outside the top 10 possibly could jump in?
Possibly Concord. They lost 5 or 6 seniors, but they do return Sarah Robb. They need to replace the goalkeeper as well, but I think Concord can make some noise.
Concord's 5th.
They are 5th. I missed them. Sorry.
So as we move on
there.
to players to watch, Mike, who are we looking for in the Division 1 ranks?
The first one I have is Kathleen Melia, senior from Padua. She had 16 goals, 7 assists last year, and that's a high-powered offense led by a bunch of players, and she's one of them. And they, like I said, if they can replace Haley Power, they're going to be dangerous. Number 2 from Cape Henlopen, the goalkeeper, Laurie Ferguson. She's a senior this year, and she allowed just 7 goals in 17 games last year and had 12 shutouts. So it's hard to pick one or two players from Cape, but I'm picking her. Lastly, from St. George's, moving up to Division I is Lauren Tyre. She's a senior. St. George's was 9-7 last year, won Flight B and made the tournament. And she had 10 goals, just 1 assist, but she was a third-team All-State player. They lost some good players. They get their third-team All-State goalie back, so I like those three, Lauren Tyre, Laurie Ferguson, and Kathleen Melia.
And Jason, 3 players for you.
I have Ashley Brentlinger, a senior from Padua. She had 8 goals and 7 assists last year. She's going to have I think she'll score a lot more goals this year. Then I got Annie Judge from Cape Henlopen, also a senior. She had 7 goals, 13 assists, so she was great at finding her open teammates and contributing that way. And then third, I have Madison Knight, also a senior from Polytech, 12 goals and 5 assists last year. And Polytech is the one team I think downstate that can give Cape a battle for the Henlopen North title.
And there you have it. That is your look at field hockey for the 2017 season in the state of Delaware. We're going to step aside really quick, but we're going to bring it back with some soccer, men's soccer action on the way next on 302 Sports Weekly.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with a voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
Benny Pinella, Pat Garianis, Mike Lang, and Jason Winchell, and it's time to talk about the upcoming soccer season for the state of Delaware. We have our rankings now for Division II. Kind of running through them real quick. Tower Hill, Indian River, Caravel, St. Mark's, and Archmere round at the top 5, and then we have Newark Charter, DMA, Friends, Tatnall, St. Andrew. We were just talking about DMA having this new facility on campus.
We were. Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's your top 10 for Division II soccer in the state of Delaware. So, Jason, St. Mark's has found Division II to be kind of rough for them so far since they made the switch as far from D1 to D2. Can they change anything? Is there anything that can change the trend for my Spartans?
Well, last year they finally were able to make it to the Division II playoffs, even though they lost in the first round, 1-0. But they played better. The problem is they did lose a bunch of seniors from last year's team, including Chris Ludman, who was Mr. Throw the ball in 80 yards on throw-ins and was really a key contributor to that offense. They will replace him, and I think they have a chance to make a run there in the Division II tournament. Hopefully.
And, Mike, we talked about St. Mark's there, but Tower Hill, they had a surprising run last season through the state tournament. Can they use that as a springboard for a successful run towards a back-to-back state championship?
I think so. We talked to the Tower Hill folks a couple weeks ago. Jason and Len were out at Tower Hill. They're motivated. They did lose a few players, including Andrew Cersina and Jamie Spruance, who both graduated, but they bring back a lot of talent. One of the guys is on my players to watch list, and I believe Jason has a Tower Hill. He does have a Tower Hill player, so they have Bo Anderson in goal.
Right.
And I believe they have the talent to get it done again this year.
Question for you, Jason. Looking at this top 5, Tower Hill seems to be kind of supplanted as the number 1, but Archmere, St. Mark's, Caravel, Indian River, what can they do to possibly leapfrog them into the top spot?
Well, since the move to Division II, Indian River and Caravel have been the 2 powerhouses. And then last year they got to the playoffs, and Tower Hill made that surprising run. They benefited in that state championship game when right before the game it was 70 degrees. Then all of a sudden a storm came in, and the wind was blowing 40 miles per hour. And Tower Hill had the wind in the back, scored 4 first-half goals, and were able to capitalize on that in that 4-2 win. I like Indian River. I think they're going to jump right back on the horse this year and get it done.
Is there anybody, this is a question for both of you guys, is there anybody outside the top 10 that might be able to make a surprising leap at all?
I like Sanford.
Sanford?
Sanford's in the tough independent conference, which is St. Andrews, Tower Hill, Tatnall. I like Sanford this year. I think they can make a jump, especially playing those teams twice. If they could beat a couple teams in that top 10, they can jump right up those rankings.
Mike, anyone outside the top 10 for you?
Other than Stanford, I really don't see it. I think this is it. I think the top 10 nails the top teams in there. Newark Charter has gotten particularly better, DMA, so I just don't see it. I think St. Andrews at number 10, we may have them a little bit low, but that's why we do the rankings. We'll find out if that's where they belong or if they belong a little higher. But
we'll find out what happens.
I'm going to go with number 10. I think St. Andrews is the one that can make a push.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike, and St. Andrews beat Tower Hill twice in the regular season last year.
That's
Tower
right.
Hill's only 2 losses.
Ooh, okay. So we'll see what happens with St. Andrews. Before we go to break, 3 players to watch, Jason.
I like Bo Anderson, the goalkeeper from Tower Hill.
Yeah.
Last year he faced 149 shots, made 138 saves for a 92.6 save percentage. That's incredible, especially in soccer with those big nets. 2, I have Benjamin Schwartz, a forward junior from Caravel who scored 11 goals and 9 assists last year. He's a big part of the Buccaneers offense. And 3rd, I have Andrew Rosenbaum, a sophomore from Archmere. In his freshman campaign last year, he scored 9 goals and had 7 assists. So he will not be under the radar this year, and I think Archmere depends on him having a good year.
3 really great players there. Mike, do you have 3 that you could be looking at as well?
I do. From Tower Hill, I'm going to go with senior Malcolm Johnson. He scored 14 goals last year. He was the first-team All-State player. He scored 1 in the final. He added 5 assists. Like I said, they have to replace a lot of scoring out there at Tower. Down at Indian River, Oscar Cruz. Their stats were a little shaky. He had at least 12 goals and 5 assists. A lot of talent down there at Indian River. He was second-team All-State, but I like Cruz from Indian River. And finally, at St. Andrews, Robbie Turnbull. He's a senior this year. They were 12-3-1 last year. And like Jason mentioned, they were the only team to defeat Tower Hill during the regular season. They beat him twice. And he had the stats were a little hard to come by there, but he was one of their leading returning scorers. They do have a lot of talent coming back at St. Andrews. Robbie Turnbull is the one I'd keep my eye on.
And that's your look at Division II soccer in the state of Delaware for 2017. We're going to step aside really quick. When we come back, is Sally's number 1? We'll find out in Division I. Up next.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Benny Pinella, Pat Garianis, Jason Winchell, and Mike Lang. And we're talking about Division I men's soccer. Salesianum, number one. No surprise there as we run our rankings for you.
Yeah.
When you're nationally ranked, it's
Right.
kind of hard not to be number one in the state of Delaware. Appaquorn at number 2, CR at number 3. We have Wilmington Charter, Cape Town Lopin with 4 and 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9. We have Polytech Newark, Sussex Central, Sussex Tech, and at number 10 we have St. George's Tech as well. So obviously, getting the elephant out of the room, Jason. Salesianum, they're a vaunted soccer powerhouse. Is there any team that can stop them?
Appo and Charter gave them some tough games in-state last year. If anyone can beat them, it's those two. Sally's has a difficult schedule where they are playing a lot of nationally ranked teams out of the state. They got a trip to North Carolina. They have a trip, a couple trips up north to Jersey. Sometimes that travel can take a lot out of you if Appo and Charter catch them at the right time during the regular season.
Yeah.
They beat them in the regular season in the past. Those are the two teams I think that could give them a run this year in regular season play. Tournament might be a different story.
Mike, you look here just through the top 10. There's a good mix of upstate teams and downstate teams. Is there any team that you're looking at in there in that top 10 that could potentially maybe have a breakthrough season at all?
Yeah, I would say St. George's, new to Division I. They're going to have some competition with Appo in Flight A, but they can really – you don't see a lot of Flight A teams on there, Newark and Appo. I think St. George's can make some noise this year.
And then, of course, is there any team outside of the top 10? I mean, with 17 teams, it's kind of hard to find any sleepers there, but Jason, Mike, is there any team outside of the top 10 that you think that possibly could get in?
I like William Penn. Every year they've been competitive in the Flight A, and they give every opponent their best effort. Last year they had they gave Appo they lost 4-3 to Appo, and they lost 2-1 to Newark. So they play everyone tough. They finished 9-5-1, which is a good record, and I think if anyone outside the top 10 can make a jump, it's William Penn.
How about you,
I
Mike?
agree. I would go with William Penn. They did lose Alexis Ayala, who's playing this year for Ursinus College. But if they can find some scoring to replace him, he scored like 20 goals last year. I think William Penn will be okay, and they could break into that top 10.
All right, now with Division I, of course, there's a lot of talent in Division I.
Yes.
A lot of talent on Salesianum as well. Who are the 3 players to watch for the BT1?
Well, speaking of Sally's, I go with Gavin Ford, the senior. In his first 2 years, he scored the game-winning goal in the state championship game. Last year, he had 14 goals and 12 assists. He is the horse that carries that Salesianum dynasty. Second, I have Matthew Meadows, a forward from Appo. He's a junior. He had 13 goals and 9 assists last year to help Appo. Appo lost in the finals to Salesianum 2-0. And third, I have a Zachary Geloff, a midfielder, senior from Cape Henlopen. Had 16 goals and 3 assists last year to help Cape Henlopen. They're a team I think that can compete this year.
And Mike, same question to you. I know there's a lot of Salesianum players that you could put on that list. Who are your top 3 guys?
Well,
to look
I
forward
did
to?
put a Salesianum player on that list. Senior Bryce Wallace. He was a top 11 player, which is the top 11 players regardless of division.
Okay.
So Bryce was top 11. He had 10 goals, but if you look at the scoring they had last year,
Even distributed.
they were very evenly distributed with Gavin Ford and Jason Blackwell. He did score against St. Benedict's, who's one of the nationally ranked teams they play. So I like Wallace. From Appo also, I like Hadi Bosma. He's a senior, doesn't score a ton, but he does a little of everything for the Jaguars. He was second team All-State last year, and they bring back a lot of talent, but I keep an eye on Bosma. Another guy could play at the next level. Finally, I'm going back to St. George's here, Matt Mitchell. He's a senior at St. George's, also a first-team All-State last year. He had 5 goals and 4 assists, but I don't look at goals and assists as the end-all and be-all, so I keep an eye on Matt Mitchell.
All this
It is.
Salesianum love, it's killing me, Pat.
It's tough. Ben's a St. Mark's grad, but you know what? You got to give credit where credit's due.
You got to tip your hat where you can.
I figure if we mention Salesianum, they won't ask for as many donations from Jason and I.
Well, that wraps up D1 soccer, of course. As the season progresses, we'll talk a bit about some games and well, players of the week for you as well. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, volleyball, our top 10 for Division 1 volleyball. Our top 10 for volleyball in 2017 in Delaware, coming up next.
Like it's like the best team there is. We're conditioning a lot of practice to like not be tired, working a lot with our setting, our hitting, just trying to put it all together at practice.
You guys are starting against Wilmington Charter in a couple weeks. How pumped are you to get started?
It's going to be a tough game like always, but we're working very hard and we're meshing well together, so it should be a good first game.
Thanks for doing this and good luck.
Thanks. Yeah, well, at the Friends Play Day originally, since it was such a new time in the season, it was more of trying to feel out who was going to be playing on our court, feeling out the players who we thought was going to make a better impact. And I feel like since those 2 weeks have gone by, we've definitely come up with a more solid lineup. We kind of know who's going to be out there, who's dependable, who we can rely on. I think the future's looking good.
I think we have a lot of potential this year, and we've added some really good new girls. So it should be really exciting this year.
Yeah, we all are really close this year. We're all like really good friends, and it's gonna be a great team bonding and just fun experience this year.
Yeah, I know. They're a great team. Their coach is my coach for club, so I know a couple of the girls on the team too. So they're always like a good rival for me. So I hope that we're like pretty decently matched.
I think sports make me love either, but I think that to depend on that a little bit more. Because it is not a single-person sport, it's a team that's really got into it. Like, they started coming to all the games and like dressing up, and it was a good environment. It was exciting. There was a lot of attention around the school, which was nice, and everyone was so supportive. We enjoyed it a lot. And they really love us with their attitude and Juliana Testa, she's an outside and she's starting to be a center for us. That's really helpful. The team chemistry, like last year we started out a little rough, but I feel like this year, since we didn't lose any players, we're a lot closer. So I think that already helped us off the bat.
Give us a little.
Back to 302 Sports Weekly. It's time to talk about volleyball from the state of Delaware. When you think about volleyball, hard not to think about Ursuline, and they seem like they're the team to beat in our rankings.
Yeah, I agree. They got to the finals last year. They made a good run back there, so I expect them to be the team to beat so far this year.
As we show you the rankings on our screen, Ursuline, of course, the #1 team. Archmere at 2, Tower Hill at 3, Padua and St. Mark's 4 and 5. And then, of course, Wilmington Charter, Friends, Tatnall, Conrad. And rounding things out is Caravel. So, diving into the rankings, let's break some things down here. This might be one of the toughest years to pick the top 10, Jason. Is there any, as everyone, pretty much anyone and everyone has a chance to bring home the championship. As the defending champs, they graduated a lot of people. So who do you see as, like, we talked about Ursuline, but is there other teams now that really could probably shake some things up?
Oh, yeah, I think this year, 13 to 14 teams have a chance to win the state championship. That's how balanced it is. I like Archmere and Tower Hill. They return a lot of players. Tower Hill returns the dynamic duo of Maddie Sachs and Alex Thompson. They were both incredible last year. Padua brings Emily Jerome, probably the player of the year candidate, back. Yeah. She puts more dents in the gym floor than I've ever seen. So I think anybody in the top 10 and outside the top 10 could make a run in it this year.
Now, Mike, we can't leave out DMA. The last 2 years, DMA has been absolutely dominant within girls volleyball. They graduated 5 starters last year, and they have a whole new coach this season. What do they got to do to give themselves the right to ship and maybe make a three-peat? Because as we could see, they're outside the top 10 preseason this season.
You talk to girls sports coaches and players. Chemistry is such a big thing for the girls and in volleyball because you need to communicate on the floor. A lot of those girls that are coming in have played together as backups at DMA or on JV.
Right.
They're not as unfamiliar with each other as we might think. So we've seen them play at a few of the play days, and they really look pretty good. I think as they go along, they get the chemistry, they'll be just fine.
Jason, Padua is a team that it's at 4 right now, but are they a team that you could possibly see putting some things together and making a run?
I do. They have a lot of talent. They got a lot of height. And their height will make the difference. They have to replace Maddie Judge, a libero last year. She's playing at University of Delaware this year. They got to replace her. I think if they do that, they're a team that can compete with any team in the state of Delaware.
This was going to go to both you guys. You can see in our top 10, the Catholic, Diamond State, and Independent conferences are by far the strongest. They got 9 out of our preseason top 10 teams. Is there a team perhaps out of those 3 conferences that you could see maybe make a run here?
Outside those conferences?
Outside of those conferences, yeah.
Smyrna,
okay.
They won the Henlopen North the last few years. They've made it to the second round of the playoffs last year and lost a 5-setter to Tower Hill. They've got a lot of talent back. They have some height. They've got maybe the best setter in the state, Reese Travato. They are very talented, kind of off the radar a little bit because they're playing in the Henlopen Conference.
Right.
But Smyrna has a tough test on Friday. They start against Archmere at home. It's going to be a great gauge of where they are, and Smyrna absolutely can make some waves.
I also like Smyrna. They're one of my teams to watch outside the top 10. I have a bunch of them, but they're, like Mike said, we'll find out early because they get number 2 Archmere on Friday. So if you want to go there before the Middletown football game,
yeah, that's right.
Catch a good volleyball game down there at Smyrna on Friday.
Smyrna really stepping up their athletic programs the last season.
Yeah, the
it
other
looks
team,
like
Pat, I
volleyball
might
team.
mention is Newark Charter. They're still young. But they are. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't mess up. They're not in the top 10.
They are not.
Newark Charter's got a lot of talent, and I think they could crack that top 10 as well.
There.
Now, I'm a big fan of chaos. I'm a big fan of things getting mixed up. Caravel's at 10. What do they have to do? What has to go right for them to get into the top 5 or maybe even make the jump from 10 to 1?
Now, Caravel is an interesting team. They didn't graduate anybody from last year's team, so they got a lot of seniors coming back. In years past, their schedule was a little light. Unfortunately, when the new coach got there, they were in that 2-year cycle period. He couldn't change it.
Yep.
This year, they added a lot of top 10 teams on their schedule. They have to survive the schedule this year. I think it'll make them a better team at come tournament time. 2 years ago, they were 15-0, lost in the first round of the playoffs because their schedule was a little light. So this year, with the tougher schedule, I think it helps them come state tournament time.
All right, so we've talked about the teams now. Let's talk about the players, Mike. Do you have any players to watch this upcoming season for volleyball?
So you have to bear with us. Jason and I each came up with 5 players. And before we would preface this, Emily Jerome is not on this list because
everyone knows
about Emily.
Exactly, yeah.
She's the favorite for player of the year.
Right,
so neither one of us picked Emily Jerome. But she by far, I think, is the best player in the state. So I want to go sophomore from Tatnall, Ashlyn DeLucia. We saw her in the interviews there.
Yes.
She's a big hitter at 26 kills and 23 digs against Smyrna in that 5-set match, and she teams with the setter Juliana Campbell. That's a great duo over there for Tatnall. She finished with 179 kills. She missed 3 matches late in the season with an injury. Samantha Davis, the senior libero at Ursuline, she's going to be playing at the next level when she's done at Ursuline. Sam gets to everything back there. Ursuline's calling card is defense, and she's the leader on that team. So Sam Davis. Over at Wilmington Charter, another one we saw in an interview, Maddie Matheny, 6'1", junior outside hitter. Just a scary presence for the opponent. Wouldn't want to see her on the other side. She had 302 kills last year and added 142 digs. I mentioned her earlier, Reese Travato, the setter from Smyrna. She's a senior as well. She also had 66 kills and 29 aces. So she's going to lead the way at Smyrna. Finally, for me, from Wilmington Friends, Danny Nathan. Her sister Alyssa was a 3-time All-State player. Danny was an All-State last year. She's a junior. She has been amazing. She's also a 2-time state champion in the high jump. And so she can get up and she can crush the ball. So I say Danny Nathan is my 5th player.
Jason, for you?
Okay, my list, like Mike said, Emily Jerome. I didn't put her on, but she's probably a player of the year candidate.
Right.
I'm starting with Maddie Sachs, a outside hitter junior from Tower Hill. She had 318 kills and 196 digs last year to lead Tower Hill to the semifinals. Second, I have Alyssa Fayville, a sophomore libero from
Yes.
Conrad. She had 367 digs and 51 aces last year, only as a freshman. Those
Yeah.
are impressive numbers.
Good little hooper, too.
Yes. Number 3, I have Taylor Wright, a outside hitter, senior from Ursuline. She had 263 kills and 269 digs.
Wow.
She plays all around. She can play the back line, which is impressive. 4, I have Julia Kochi, an outside hitter, sophomore from Archmere.
Young.
As a freshman last year, she had 146 kills and 144 digs. She came on in state tournament time with both state tournament games. She had over 20 kills.
Wow.
So that's where she made her mark. And finally, I have Erin Derrick, a setter and outside hitter for St. Mark's. She had 135 kills and 267 assists to help the Spartans last year get back up into the top 5.
Interesting. A lot of young talent throughout the state of Delaware, no doubt about it.
Talent in the state of for volleyball in the state of Delaware. I'm enjoying this. Talking
Oh, it's fun.
sports.
It's been a
at
blast.
Hooters. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. When we come back, it's what we've been waiting for
Yes,
to talk
yeah.
about this entire show. The leaves, they're starting to change. The weather getting a little crisper. It's football, and it's next on 302 Sports Weekly.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local... Began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
And welcome back.
There it is. I love it. Absolutely love it.
This is awesome.
That's it.
This is
They're
awesome,
excited
everybody.
To talk about it
It's
too.
football. That's what it is. What happens,
Everyone
man.
loves football, Pat.
That's what happens, man. The gridiron, baby.
302 Sports Weekly. We are back to talk about Division II football in the state of Delaware. I love it.
Oh,
I remember being a kid and just going to the games and just being amazed.
I can remember being a Division II football player and taking home the 2010 state championship with St. Elizabeth. Shout out to those guys.
And my St. Mark's Spartans took home a championship when I was at school as well. I didn't play for the team. Obviously not the athlete here. Now, but Division II, it is it's very top heavy as we look at the rankings. They appear on your screen.
Yep.
Woodbridge, last year they had a very good season. We have the number 1 for us. We also have Caravel, Friends, Glasgow, Milford. My Spartans, hopefully they can put something together. DMA, Archmere, Tower Hill, and Tatnall. Jason, I'm always going to go to you for Spartans questions, and I'm always going to ask them. They've had a rough go of it in Division II for football. Is there a changing of the guard or changing of the wind coming, though, for the Spartans?
Coach Wilson thinks this could be the year they finally get that state tournament berth in Division II. It's going to be tough, though. They have a tough schedule. They have 2 Division I teams, Newark and Sally's, and Division II powers Woodbridge, Caravel, Archmere, and DMA. That's 6 tough games. They probably have to go 4-2 with that spin to make the playoffs. That's not going to be easy, Benny, but they had the talent to do it.
Mike Woodbridge, the defending champs here. All right, a lot of speed, a lot of quickness with that team. What do they got to do? What do they got to do to go back to back here?
Well, I think the main thing is they can't get complacent. They have to stay hungry, and I think Coach Manlove is going to be able to keep them focused and looking at the long picture. They have a great quarterback, Troy Haynes. They did graduate Riddick, their running back, and they graduated a couple of lineman styles. It was one of them, and Shamir Vessels is the other one. So they bring most of their starters back. I think if they can just avoid getting complacent, they'll be okay.
Archmere, they always play teams tough, especially in the top 10. Are they a team that potentially could cause some shakeups, Jason?
They do. They can. The problem with them is they have also a tough schedule. They open with Division I Dover on Friday night. A trip down south is never easy. They also play St. Mark's, Caravel, not to mention some other tough teams. DMA is one of them. I think if Archmere gives everyone a game, and they play you tough. You have to bring your A game to beat Archmere. If Archmere can survive that schedule, I think this could be a year they make the tournament.
I want to ask you, for a D1 team to play a D2 team, sometimes that can affect their position and their respective rankings. We'll get to the D1 rankings later. But for Division 2, Archmere stepping up to play Dover. Could that potentially help them win or lose?
That's what they thought hurt them last year. They didn't have that Division I team that some of the other teams that made the playoff did. Because you get 6 points for beating a Division I team compared to 4 points for beating a Division II team. So you make that step up. In even a loss to the Division I team, you get a point, where if you lose to the Division II team, you don't get any points. So it does a benefit. They also have another Division I opponent in Charter this year, too. So they got 2 Division I opponents to possibly make some noise in the points.
You're exactly right, Jason. As a Division II team, one of our coach at St. Elizabeth, Joe Hempel, legend, he used to always say that. Those D1 games are big-time games. They're 6-point games, and you're guaranteed coming out of there with a point. So I agree. Those are the big things. Turning to you, Mike. DMA's been a team that's been on the rise the last couple of seasons. I mean, I remember back when they first started, they went through a rough patch, but they're really starting to hit some stride. Actually, in our preseason top 10 at number 7, they look for real. If things break, right for them, how far could they potentially go?
I could see a semifinal run for them. They're replacing a 4-year starter at quarterback in Jake Hudson, who was there. He took over his freshman year after an injury, and he Wally pipped the guy before him. So
right.
They also have to replace a huge running back, and I mean literally huge, Todd Turner. Guy weighed about 240 pounds. We saw him against St. E's last year at Delaware Stadium.
Yep.
They have some talent. Mike Ryan, the coach, always has them playing well. So I don't think there'll be too much of a drop-off for DMA. They do have Archmere, and they play St. E's. And I haven't really seen them. They're in that Diamond State Conference with Wilmington Charter. So I could see a semifinal run. They have some talent coming back. But they do have to replace a couple key pieces.
Jason, I'm a big fan of chaos. I'm a big fan of shaking things up. Is there any team within the top 10 that could give Woodbridge a run for their money?
Yeah, I like Friends. They got a transfer quarterback, Wyatt Nelson, coming over from Caravel. They made it to the state final last year before losing to Woodbridge, 10-7 in a great Division II final last year. I like them, and I also wouldn't rule out Caravel. I think both of them could make a run there at Woodbridge and give them all they can handle.
You mentioned the transfer really quick. How is that going to affect things when Friends potentially has a game against Caravel? What's that going to be like?
I'm sure it'll be crazy, especially if they meet in the playoffs, because Nelson could tell. I guess both teams can learn from the other. They can learn from Nelson, having him there last year, and Nelson can game plan for Caravel. So it could be interesting. They don't meet in the regular season, but if they meet in the playoffs, that could be a good point.
And the thing is, with Friends, Coach Tattersall is one of the best coaches in the state of Delaware. Whenever he's got some talent on his team, they usually do pretty well. Combination of talent and good coaching, they could be a team. I agree with Jason that goes and makes a run for this thing.
That'll be interesting to see. All right, are there any teams outside the top 10, Mike, that you see possibly making a run at a spot.
Yeah, I think Mount Pleasant dropping down from Division I to Division II. They were 7-3 2 years ago in their first year in Division I, and I believe made the playoffs that year. 5-5 last year, so they're not going to be playing William Penn and that Middletown, that Division I schedule. So I think Mount Pleasant, you might see some things out of them. I might note that one of the new players for the Green Knights this year is Famir Ali, who we've all seen play basketball.
Yeah.
So some interesting things at Mount. I think the Green Knights have a shot to rattle some cages.
Interesting. How about you, Jay?
I have two teams, both from the Henlopen South. I like Lake Forest and Delmar. Problem with Lake, Lake opens with 3 ranked teams in their first 4 games. They open with Friends, who's number 3 on our list. They also play Caravel in that stretch, who's number 2 in the list. So if they can survive that, I think they can make a push. We'll find out early if they're a team that can make that. I like Delmar. Delmar's schedule's a little easier compared to Lake Forest. They went 5-5 last year and looking to regroup. They used to be a Division II powerhouse.
Yes.
I see them getting back in it this year, and I see them making a jump into the top 10.
And wrapping up things for Division II football, players to watch. Jason, give me 3.
I like the quarterback, Troy Haynes from Woodbridge.
Of course.
He started both freshman and sophomore year. Now he's getting to the junior campaign. He threw a big 70-yard touchdown pass in their Division II championship win. I really like him. 2 is Matt Tynes, a senior wide receiver quarterback from St. Mark's. He's got some Division I offers from Ivy League schools. He is really good, and watch out for the Spartans this year.
True scholar athlete.
Yeah.
True scholar athlete.
And 3, I mentioned him earlier, sophomore quarterback Wyatt Nelson from Friends. He's making a jump. When he came in for Barker last year, he led Caravel to a playoff appearance as a freshman. He really knows the game, and I think he's going to help Friends revive a little of a passing attack this year.
There it is. So there's 3 great players to keep an eye on. Mike, who are your guys to look forward to?
Well, a team we haven't mentioned, and I think maybe in Division II that would have a shot to do some things, is Howard. And one of my players is Sean Bowman, who's a tight end and defensive end. He's a senior this year, 6'6", 230. He's a big guy,
big kid.
Plays basketball as well for the Wildcats. He was a second-team All-State last year at Howard. And they're always right there. So I think Bowman is one player to watch. From Delaware Military Academy, junior running back Karan Aline. He is when we had Todd Turner was the big beefy guy. Aline is not the big guy, but he can run.
Speed.
He has a lot of speed, and but I wouldn't want to get in his way. He's going to knock you over if you get there. He scored running last year. He scored pass receiving, kick returns, punt returns. He can do it all. And he also returned 1 fumble for a touchdown. So he scored a bunch of different ways. He also threw 1 pass for 35 yards, but he's not going to be throwing the ball.
Wow.
But he's going to be scoring. So Karan Aline is the guy I look for. Also from Archmere, another running back, Cole Bauer. He's a junior. Archmere relied so much last year on Pat Udovich, a two-way player, and then did almost all of the scoring on the ground for them, along with a couple other guys, Pat McVeigh and a couple others. So it's really Bauer's show this year. I didn't see Dan Park's name on the roster. So if Dan Park is not playing, it's really up to Bauer. They have a nice receiving core at Archmere too, but Cole Bauer is the guy I'm going with.
Yeah, also a good lacrosse player, Cole
Yes,
Bauer.
he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Well, that does it for Division II football. When we come back, it's Division I. Smyrna, Middletown. That's the game of the week, but we're going to look at the rankings first on 302 Sports Weekly.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Hooters, have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
All right, everybody.
Gotta love it.
This is awesome.
This is what you get if you come out to Hooters.
That's right.
That's
Newark,
it, man.
136
Yes.
Astro Shopping Center, located just off Kirkwood Highway across from the Western Family YMCA. That's where we're here, and that's where we're at, and we are 302 Sports Weekly. And it is time, Pat, to talk about Division I football.
Yes, it is. Big time football right here.
Yes,
big time football.
I mean, this is everyone in Delaware. Delaware basically shuts down for some of these games to go and see them. We have a treat for opening night. We'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, oh, do we ever? All right, so looking at the rankings as they flash on your screen, Smyrna and Middletown, obviously they're number 1 and 2. We have some teams though that could possibly sneak in. Salesianum always good at number 3. William Penn, Sussex Central, St. George's Tech, they've taken steps forward. Concord's always a good team to hang around. And then Dover, we also have Sussex Tech and Appoquinimink. So, looking at this, it's hard not to talk about it, Jason, but Smyrna and Middletown, just what makes them so good, and is there anything that really is their kryptonite, so to speak?
Well, the thing about Smyrna is their players don't play two ways. So later in the game, that keeps them fresh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they run that no-huddle offense, fast pace, what a lot of high school defenses aren't used to yet. So that's what's going to keep them up top. Middletown, they got the quarterback, Drew Fry.
Yes.
He's incredible. Mm-hmm. And they also have a good ground game and good defense to help them. And I think that's what makes those two teams the best in the state of Delaware.
Mike, Jason, for both of you here. Last year, like we said, there wasn't really many teams that could slow down those offenses. Is there a team you see in this top 10, perhaps out, I'm not sure, that you could see potentially maybe slow the offenses down and make this game, and compete with these guys?
I'm going to give you two. I'm going to go Sally's. Zach Gwynn had a great 7-on-7 this summer. The problem with them is Coach DiNardo going to let them throw the ball because Sally's is always a good running game.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I think Sally's going to throw more this year, and that will open the play action and pass. Sally's also got Whittlesey back, Jamal Whittlesey, the 300-pound nose guard. That will help them in the defense of the run game. You run into him, you're going to go backwards. Mm-hmm. William Penn is another team. I think they will compete. We'll find out early. I get Middletown week 2. They got Sally's on the schedule, so it's Salesianum always has that tough schedule.
I agree. William Penn played Smyrna, I believe, a couple weeks ago in a scrimmage, and I wasn't there, but from the reports I heard, Colonials looked really good, slowing down Smyrna. I don't know how much Smyrna shows in the scrimmage, but I think William Penn, Coach Dooley always has them ready to play and compete. Concord needs Bam Roberts to stay healthy. Yes. They need Dylan Coffenauer to stay healthy. And they've got an opening test on Saturday morning against Salesianum on 302 Sports, by the way. That is going to be a big test. They lost twice to Salesianum last year. I know they're itching for revenge. So Concord could do some things, but they need to stay healthy.
And, of course, last question about Smyrna Middletown. Before we get to our breakdown of the game, it's a best-of-2 series right now, but could this possibly come December be a best-of-3, Jason?
I think it will be in December. Like you said, they met in last year's state championship game.
Yeah.
And their first game back, they're playing each other. They don't get any break in between. But if they meet again in December, it's going to be from week 1 to I think you'll see 2 new teams in that championship game. I mean, what you see of Smyrna and Middletown in the first game, they will not show again in the state championship game. So you have to prepare.
One team we see in this top 10 that's a bit intriguing is at number 6. That's St. George's Tech, making the jump from D2 to D1. How do we see these guys? How do we see their season playing out? And will they be able to really make some noise year 1 in Division 1?
I think they will. They nearly beat William Penn last year in the opener. They lost by 3. Coach Mall always has that team in playoff contention. They have moved up. They've got some tougher competition, but he's got a lot of talent down there, and they have a quarterback, Robert Shorts, who's been there for a few years. He's got about a three-headed running back monster down there, a lot of offense. So it'll be interesting to see if they can stop the opposing offenses. But they do have some talent on the offensive side, and I wouldn't be surprised to see St. George's in that 6-team field.
Wow.
Mike, one note about St. George's. They opened with 4 straight on the road, including Middletown in that stretch. They only played 4 home games this year. That could be interesting to see if that affects them at all.
Yeah, St. George's has a tough task ahead of them, jumping from Division II to D1. All right, Jason, I spend a lot of time in the Middletown, Smyrna area, and I always ask a lot of the locals down there. Appoquinimink, every year it kind of seems like they're ready to make that next step, and they make baby steps, or they don't take as big of a step as they should. 10, we have them ranked 10, but are they a team that is this the season they do it, or much of the same?
Well, they open with Cesar Rodney this weekend, a home game. Cesar Rodney has struggled the last couple of years. This is the old Cesar Rodney team. Cesar Rodney was young last year, so they're going to bring an experienced crop up of players up there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they're for real. We'll find out early. They also play in the Flight A, so they have to play Middletown, William Penn, and St. George's Tech and Concord. That's 4 teams in our top 10 ahead of them, so it's not an easy task for Appo.
Another intriguing Week 1 matchup, there's a ton of them. So, I mean, you just look up and down the schedule, there's a ton of them going on. It's that D1, D2 matchup that we talked about earlier, Dover versus Archmere. Dover, of course, led by their quarterback, junior Jordan McGee. He's a big-time quarterback. I saw a little bit of him in 7-on-7 this summer. He could be a guy that makes a Player of the Year type campaign. What does Dover got to do to avoid that loss to the D2 team?
Well, I think they have a new coach here down in Dover. The Senators seem to perpetually be knocking on the door, never able to break through. It seems almost like it's mental down there as much as physical. They have talent. They have players. They have a big program. They need to concentrate and just get the job done. And maybe this is the coach that gets it done. Archmere is not an easy way to start, and that's a game that the Hawks not easily, but I'd say it's a 50-50 shot right now of them taking that game. So if Dover puts things together, I think they could be successful. And I keep waiting for it. Maybe this is the year for the Senators.
As I've said before, if you step between the ropes, you've got a chance.
That's it. I like
Jason, to go off of the game, we talked about how it's very beneficial for a D2 team to face a Division I team. But if Dover gets that albatross around their neck, what's it going to take for them to kind of build it back? So let's say Dover struggles against Archmere or loses the game potentially. They have that albatross around their neck. What do they have to do moving forward to kind of build themselves back up?
Well, like you said, it's tough because you get 0 points to lose to the Division II team, so you're going to get nothing out of that game. They play in that tough Henlopen North that has teams like Cape Henlopen, Smyrna, Sussex Central, Sussex Tech. So it's going to be tough to rebound. They had the talent to do it, though.
And Pat, I can't help but think, is there another game on the schedule?
Well, there is Del Castle Dickinson going on this weekend. So that is going on this Friday afternoon.
The old Division I, Division II matchup.
That's it. But I can't think of any other one.
Obviously, Smyrna Middletown. We'll talk about that next. But rounding out the Division I talk, before we get to our game of the week, or the big opening game, I should say, our spotlight game of the week. 3 players to watch, Mike.
All right, so Division I, I'm going with, I mentioned the running backs at St. George's, Brian Benson. He had at least 16 touchdowns. The stats weren't complete last season. He'll team with Demonte Wells and Robert Short's potent offense for them. Brandon Dennis from Concord. Didn't play last year. He was injured. He's a big part of that team. So we'll see how Brandon Dennis comes back for the Raiders and starting on Saturday. From Appoquinimink, senior running back and defensive back Derek Thompson. All-State last year, and he'll have to make contributions on both sides of the ball if they want to move up to that next level in Division I.
What do you think, Jace, real quick? Who you got?
I have Will Knight, senior running back from Smyrna.
Yes.
Zach Quinn, senior quarterback from Sally's, and Graham Roberts, a senior running back from Concord. Those 3 will be key players for their teams this year.
Yeah, Will Knight committed to University of Delaware,
Correct.
so congrats to him.
Del Castle Dickinson.
Hey, man, don't make fun of the Cougars, all right? Big year this year.
Smyrna Middletown, we'll be talking about it coming up next on 302 Sports Weekly.
State resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz and Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley, too, as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image, you envision, we create.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
It's our three.
There it is. I love it. I
love it.
You can clap for me all day. I love it. I'll never get tired of this.
I'm just gonna revel in it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly, and it is our spotlight game of the week. Middletown versus Smyrna. No, you have not stepped into a time machine. The flux capacitor is in the DeLorean, but you're not in it. No, we're not back in 2016. This is 2017. We're opening up with a big game. And it has some history to it, Jason. You were talking about, they call it the Harvest Bowl?
Yes, they call it the Harvest Bowl. It started in 1985. Both Smyrna and Middletown were in Division II at the time. And it's called the Harvest Bowl because they always play early September. And it started every year from 1985 to 2001 when Middletown made that jump to Division I. And restarted in 2009 when Smyrna made the jump up to Division I. They played 4 years from 2009 to 2013 before the Flight A expanded to 9 teams. So they lost a non-conference game, so they dropped Middletown dropped the Smyrna game. This year with Charter dropping out of the Flight A, Middletown put that game back on the schedule. Middletown has kind of controlled it they won the last 4 regular season games, and I think the last 12 overall, until Smyrna won that state championship game last year.
Yeah, just looking at it, Jason, I mean, Middletown all time, 17-4 against Smyrna in this matchup, but it started off, it looked like it was competitive for the first couple years of this, 85-93.
Yes, it was. It was very competitive. That's when Middletown started growing in 94.
Yes, yeah.
And so when you start having 80 kids compared to 20 or 30,
exactly,
it makes it really tough on Smyrna. In the years, then now Smyrna has finally made that jump, and they really came up. They've won 19 straight games.
Right.
So they haven't they faced Middletown in the state championship game, but they haven't played them in the regular season the last few years.
Pretty much what we're saying is that 17-4 record that Middletown has over them can be tossed in the garbage can right now because both of these teams are elite.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Smyrna has kind of grown and Middletown's grown. An MOT area kind of reflective of what we've seen over the past few years altogether. Everything down there has just been developing. So, Mike, we're throwing the record aside. We're throwing the history's there, but we're kind of going to push that aside. Right now, what does each team need to do to win the game?
Well, I'm looking at Middletown's side, and I'll tell you what they have to do, and it's really easy. Stop Will Knight. How easy is that? And they win the game, right? Okay, that's not going to be easy, but that's really the key. If they can slow down Will Knight, they're going to have a chance. Number 2, they got a rattle like Wilson, the quarterback. He's brand new at Smyrna.
Yes.
Coming over from Glasgow.
Correct.
hasn't played in this atmosphere. Smyrna's a 2-time defending champion. Does he have that kind of pressure on him? Like, I can't be the one that messes this up. I can't be the one that loses after 19 straight wins. So can Middletown get through that all-state line of Smyrna's and get in his grill and really cause some problems, force an interception or two? Very important. I think if Middletown's defense can get to Wilson, they can do some real damage. And number 3, I think the Cavaliers need to take advantage of the intangibles. It's a home game. It's the first game of the year. It's going to be jam-packed. You should get your tickets early because it's probably going to be sold out.
Yeah.
They're going to have the cowbells and the noise. It's going to be great. Middletown has the revenge factor, so they lost last year in the state championship. I'm sure they're going to be hungry. And number 3, Middletown's playing for new coach Zach Blum, and I'm sure they don't want to lose their coach's first game. So I know Zach's been there for 10 years as an assistant. He played in this game, but I think the intangibles are on Middletown's side. They just need to take advantage of them. Can you stop Will Knight? Can anybody stop Will Knight? Who knows?
And seldom do people talk about it, how important the line play will be for both teams.
Without a doubt.
And I had that as my key for Smyrna. They have to win the battle of the trenches. I think if the defensive line needs to stop Whitehead and put pressure on Drew Fry, and the offensive line needs to open holes for running back Will Knight and protect the quarterback Ike Wilson.
And you're exactly right. Both teams, great lines. All right, you got weapons on both sides. Will Knight, running back for Smyrna, and then the running back for Middletown, Kedrick Whitehead, and both have, Drew Fry and Ike Wilson. Both can get the job. They almost mirror each other. Both teams kind of mirror each other. So this is going to be a great game.
It should be a great game.
So, we talked about the keys. If there's anything else, Jason, you want to say about Smyrna, now's the time. But I want to ask both of you. Let's pick a winner. Let's make this interesting.
All right.
Who do you want to get me killed? Jason and I are calling the game on Friday, and I think we'd never get out of town if we made a pick. So.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's not that much of a problem, though, Ben.
No, it's not.
Nah.
Because if they don't want to pick a winner, that's fine. The fans are the ones that are going to pick the winners. As a matter of fact, we put it up on our Twitter poll question at 302 Sports on Twitter, and Nick Alessandrini, he has the latest on that poll. What's happening so far, Nick?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So yesterday we sent out our first weekly poll, and it had to do with our Spotlight Game of the Week, and it was who will win 302 Sports Spotlight Game of the Week between Smyrna and Middletown. And with closing in with over 188 votes just now, and it looks like it's Smyrna 68%, Middletown 32%. So it looks like the fans going with Smyrna.
68%.
Taking the defending champs.
We kind of talked about it. Smyrna, though, losing some things, Jason.
Yeah.
What are they going to have to do to keep it up?
They lost Letty Brown and quarterback Nolan Henderson. They get the transfer Wilson to come down, but he's learning the new system. Best time to get a team, a guy learning the new system is week one.
You're right.
So Middletown is, I think that will help Middletown in this one.
And we have some team interviews for you. We're going to cue them up right now on 302 Sports Weekly.
Last year, you were with Glasgow, transferred here to Smyrna, the state champs. How excited are you to get the season started, man?
I'm excited. I transferred here mid-February, and I've loved everything about the program, the players, the coaches. So I can't wait for the season.
You guys have a rematch, week 1 versus Middletown, the state championship from 2016. Are you guys excited to play Middletown again in the regular season?
We're excited to play any team as a family. We just love to get out there and lace it up, and we don't take anything for granted. For the players that would love to strap it up and play with us, such as Kobe Atkinson, who had leukemia freshman year, was never allowed to strap it up with us. So we go hard for our brothers, such as him.
You guys, week 1 have Middletown, rematch state championship, aka the Harvest Bowl. You guys used to play them in the regular season. How excited is this team to get back to Middletown during the regular season?
Oh yeah, we're very excited. The preseason's tough for some kids. That's a grind. And you have that date circled, the first game of the year every year, and it's a real special one when it's an opponent like Middletown with the history they have, and they're going to bring their A game and really challenge. Both teams are going to be challenged to match up with each other, and we're really excited about that, and we're looking forward to that rematch, and our kids are hungry for it, and they're excited, and I'm sure Middletown's frothing at the mouth too.
Game Friday night with Smyrna,
Has your preparations been any different this year with Coach Blum as opposed to your previous coaches? Have been pretty much business as usual?
Same preparation. Coach Blum been in the program, so we have the same expectations. A couple little things different here and there, but just working hard and preparing the same way.
Keeping up with Smyrna, you couldn't get a tougher draw, but how important is it to come out and make a statement in that game?
It means everything because we fell short from them last year, so they got a little chip on their shoulder, so we're going to have to show them what we worked all season for. So.
How do you prepare for a two-time defending state champion like Smyrna with a weapon like Will Knight and Ike Wilson at quarterback?
It's going to be tough, just like it is every week. You know, we don't have too many off weeks. Smyrna's a great football team. We saw them twice last year, and they do a great job. Offensively and defensively, they're very well coached. And they have a lot of talent, so our guys will have to be on top of their game and their preparation. But we'll do it the same way that we do it each and every week.
And that, of course, is the.
That's the applause of your fans, Ben. That's what that is.
They're excited to thank our families for coming out.
Yes. Well, the fans are excited for Middletown Smyrna. You heard it from the coach, you heard it from the players. You can, of course, watch the game on our YouTube channel, 302 Sports, or on our website, 302sports.com. You're seeing the graphic there. Thank you very much to AWOL Edits. All right, when we come back, we have a little.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com. Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. In 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
Sports Weekly. Special thanks to Mike Lang and Jason Winchell for all the Delaware high school sports stuff. But Pat, this is your segment. Got a little local flavor going. What's going on in the area of Delaware sports?
A lot going on in Delaware local sports outside of the high school system. First of all, University of Delaware opened the Danny Rocco era with a 22-3 victory over the in-state foe, as some plates crack behind me. Delaware State, Thursday night at Delaware Stadium. That was a 22-3 victory. Delaware flavor in the game. For the Blue Hens, Jamie Jarman, former Indian River playout, 4 catches for 36 yards, while Ray Buck Jones of Hodson had 6 tackles in that game for the Blue Hens.
Stop as well at the goal line to prevent Delaware State from getting a touchdown.
As for the Hornets at Delaware State, they're looking at Bryson Allen of Concord, big boy, 9 rushes, 53 yards in that one. And then Kewan Selby of St. George's, 8 tackles for the Hornets. So always good to see some Delaware flavor in the college ranks. As for their upcoming game, it's going to be a tough one for the Blue Hens. They got Virginia Tech on September 9th. That's a 3:30 start. Nationally ranked team, Virginia Tech.
Going down to Blackbird to face Beamer ball. Not easy for the Blue Hens.
Not going to be easy. It'll be interesting to see what they do. As for other collegiate sports within the state, number 11, Wesley College couldn't shake off a 22-3 halftime deficit against the number 20 ranked Delaware Valley Aggies as they dropped their second consecutive season opener to the Aggies 24-19 Thursday night at James Work Memorial Stadium. For Wesley, another more Delaware flavor, Alex Kemp, formerly of Caesar Rodney, 5 catches, 90 yards. And for Del Val, Sean Miller of Laurel had 10 tackles. 9 of those tackles came as solo tackles. Upcoming game for Wesley will be the College of New Jersey, September 16th.
They play in that NJAC where my alma mater, Rowan University, plays. So.
Well, there it is. Very interesting.
Have that.
As for other former Delaware high school athletes within the college athletics news, you're looking at the University of Pittsburgh and former AI standout Quadri Henderson had a big-time game, 9 rushes, 77 yards in their 28-21 victory over Youngstown State. Lee Corso said Youngstown was going to pull the upset. Quadri said not going to happen. That's what happened there. And for West Virginia, former Red Lion standout David Sills, 9 catches, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns in their loss against Virginia Tech. David Sills was a big-time standout when he was back in high school. Originally committed to USC, ends up at West Virginia, playing receiver, was a high school quarterback, so big game for him. As for active players from Delaware High School that have made the NFL rosters, we have some guys. Wendell Smallwood, of course, formerly of Red Lion Christian, from Wilmington, Delaware, playing for the hometown team, Philadelphia Eagles. Chris Godwin of Middletown High School was featured this preseason on Hard Knocks. He made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. Brian Body Calhoun of Wilmington, Delaware, and also Del Castle High School. He's making the Cleveland Browns. They actually cut Joe Hayden to keep Brian Body on, having a big-time early career, Brian Body Calhoun.
Was it Brock Osweiler to keep him on as well?
Kyle Carter from Newcastle went to William Penn. Luckily for him, he made the Minnesota Vikings roster. Duron Harmon, formerly of Caesar Rodney, once again making it on.
And a former Blue Hen as well, yeah.
Making it on with the Rutgers. He was a Rutgers guy, making it on with the New England Patriots, correct. Paul Warlow, there's your former Blue Hen, formerly of Concord High School, tagging along with the Detroit Lions. And then 2 guys that we do not have graphics for, but just want to give a shout-out to. Jarrell Presley, formerly of Red Lion Christian for Wilmington, Delaware, makes the Atlanta Falcons practice squad, and a former high school teammate of mine, Andre Patton of St. Elizabeth High School, tagging along with the LA Chargers on their practice squad. So congratulations to all the former Delaware High School athletes who have made it to the highest professional level in the game of football.
That is awesome. I love the segment talking about guys from Delaware that are repping it and keeping 302 alive in the NFL.
Building the state's reputation. And then one last thing we have to mention today is probably the most famous Delaware athlete. That's Elena Deladon, as her Mystics take on the Dallas Wings in the WNBA semifinals tonight at 8 p.m. It's already been tipped off as we just look down. Also would like to mention, if you want to find any more news on Delaware athletes that are in the national news, please check out the website 302sports.com daily, and you will be caught up on those things. So, Ben, for this one, it's a great segment. We're tagging along. It's been a great first episode. We're going to step aside right now, Benny. Take a commercial break. We're going to be right back with a word from our owner, Nick Halliday.
On 302 Sports Weekly.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, to cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lowest, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. It's been fun hanging out here talking sports.
Oh, this is awesome. You can't ask for, I mean, there's really not a better thing to do than hang around and talk sports, Benny.
Especially at Hooters, located in the Astro Shopping Center in Newark, just off Kirkwood Highway, again, across from the YMCA, Western YMCA here in Newark. Now, again, this show, it's been a rousing success for a lot of fans out here, but it would not, 302 Sports as a whole, would not be possible without the man sitting to my right. It's time to put a face to a name. Nick Halliday, everyone. Nick, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this, man.
Yeah, I can't take all the credit. I've had a lot of help. Couldn't do it without you guys, without everybody that's been helping us, without the fans, especially the schools, the ADs, the teams that have all let us in. I mean, it's just been great getting the participation from everybody for what we've gotten so far. So, I really want to thank all you guys. I really want to thank all of our sponsors. I really want to thank all the fans and all the teachers, coaches, schools, everybody that's let us in. It's been a blessing. So, one of the things I want to do is just thank some special people from the start. To get us started. Unique Image, Jason and John Gleber have been with me from the beginning. They believed in what we were doing. They really liked our product and, have stuck with us. Brian Italian from Pike Creek Mortgage and Brian's Loans. Brian's been a great sponsor for us and really kept things going with me, believing in us and letting us, like I said, push our product. Brian Hadley from the Hadley Group and Patterson Sports Associates. They've been big sponsors. We really couldn't be doing it without them. They were with us from the beginning. And then Nick and Gary McCulley from Hooters and McCulley's, as you can see. We had the Hooters girls behind us for a little bit, so that worked out perfect. And then some new sponsors that we brought on this year, which are Reds Ferris from Ferris Home Improvement, and then Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. And the only thing that I can say, and I would like to say to everybody, is support 302. They're all local people who have great products, and if there's anything that you guys can use for their services, please do. So I really, really appreciate those guys from the bottom of my heart. And then again, giving it up to Hooters and those guys allowing us to come here and do this at this establishment. It's been great. The fans have been great. You guys have been great, and I really hope that everybody really liked the content of what we did, and we're going to keep this thing rolling each week. So tune in, join the website, do whatever you can do to support 302. We really appreciate it.
Follow us on Twitter at 302 Sports. Subscribe on YouTube, 302 Sports YouTube channel, and of course the website 302sports.com for the first ever 302 Sports Weekly show.
Yeah!
Give it up. Gotta give it up.
Clap means it's a wrap. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, coming out, everyone, and keep watching for next week on 302 Sports Weekly.
See you.